Quick fun fact about this requested tune. This was actually the one I played for my audition to the Mason Gross School of the Arts, and despite being accepted, I didn't attend for other reasons. But this 1953 post-bop standard will always be attached to the memory of that fun day, as well as the Clifford Brown and Max Roach album I first heard it on. So this song doesn't feature anything wild, rather just a stylistic renovation of existing songwriting techniques. It starts on a 2-5-1 to C minor. Note the 2 is reharmonized as a dominant chord, followed by a 2-5 to the relative major of A flat. And after returning to the first cadence, there is an A flat 7 to G7 to restart the section, and that is a funny augmented 6th chord cadence, which is just a tritone sub on the 2. What's probably worth a study in this piece is the melodic concept of the enclosure we see in the B section. Cornerstone of jazz bebop, but you can hear it as far back as Chopin, Mozart, or Bach even. It's when you surround a target tone from above and below before landing on it. The B section begins with the melody on the root of the chord, then you enclose around the 7th of the next chord, enclosure around the root of the next, enclosure around the 7th of the next, and then surrounding the 3rd of this D flat dominant. Duke Jordan then reharmonizes the 3rd as the root of the next chord and proceeds to repeat that same pattern of enclosures around the 3rds and 7ths. When you're ready to close out the song, there is a coda section here, and look at this. All dominant chords. First it goes down a half step twice, then up a 4th. Then it's up a 4th twice, followed by a half step down. When considering dominant chords, down a half step and up a 4th is harmonically identical, and that is the fruit of the tritone substitution technique. You could essentially play this whole line here as ascending 4ths or descending half steps and yield a functionally identical progression. For example, if I went up a 4th to D flat dominant here, that's a tritone sub of the G7 that actually followed. If I go from this B flat 7 here down to A7, that is the tritone sub of the E flat 7 in the song. Either way, you get a smooth voice leading in the 3rds and 7ths regardless if the bass descended a half step or ascended a 4th. The coda then wraps up the song with a cadence to C minor major 7. Composers sometimes color the minor tonic this way, and you can voice that with a major triad on the 5th, in this case a G major over C minor.